Season of Discovery Season 2 preview, quality of life, runes, raid loot, and the PvP event. So that we finally received an update from Blizzard 15 minutes ago as of 8:36 p.m. on the 29th. Blizzard has released their official preview of Season of Discovery Phase 2, including details on quality of life runes, the raid preview, including bosses and loot, and more details about the new PvP event and profession updates. A little video. Let's take a look. 32 minutes. Perfect. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Linny Cook Saverline, and
Let's
I'm
turn
a
this up.
producer on WoW Classic. Back at BlizzCon, we had the absolute pleasure of finally sharing Season of Discovery with you all, and we've loved watching all of the new challenges you've overcome, the meta you've created, and the adventures you've all had in Phase 1.
Yes.
And now we'd like to chat with you about Phase 2.
Perfect.
Today we're going to do a brief overview of some of the new adventures in store for you. Our topics today include information
All
about our
right.
new 10-player raid Gnomeregan,
Here we go.
dungeon updates,
New raid.
rune ability updates,
Should I move my camera? Is my
PvP
camera in a good
updates,
spot?
profession updates,
I think we're
and
okay.
more, which should help answer some of the questions we've gotten around our previous phase
I think
and
we're okay.
where we're going with the new one. We're going to pop through our slides pretty fast, so you may want to pause or watch back through the recording
here we
if
go.
you want to catch everything on the slides.
Pause.
We're also going to put the build up on the PTR soon. We're doing something similar to Phase 1, where we only
Huh? I'm sorry. Did she say PTR?
make the era and
Also, hey, look. This is my video, chat. I'm in this video.
hardcore content
Phase 2
available,
preview
not the
live right
season
now.
itself. It is likely there will be some data mining, but beware,
Data
not
mining.
everything you see data mined will actually be in the patch. This
Oh,
build will
okay.
contain some
A little bit of
experimental
cheeky,
things,
a little bit of
stuff
cheeky
for later
you know.
phases, and things that maybe didn't work quite how we wanted them to.
Okay, very good.
We're going to start off talking about our new raid Gnomeregan. Our assistant lead designer, Tim Jones, will be walking us through.
All right, Tim.
Take it away, Tim.
Hello there. Thank you, Lenny, for that introduction. I'm Tim Jones, the assistant lead game designer on World of Warcraft Classic.
Oh, snap.
And
Here we
it's
go,
my
dude.
pleasure to talk to you more and give you a sneak peek at Gnomeregan, the second level up raid in Season of Discovery.
Okay.
The
I
raid
wonder.
content that you'll be participating in at level 40 in Phase 2.
So they keep saying the term like level up raid. Is it going to be like part of the questing for like future phases?
Let's get into it.
Let's see.
So
Gnomeregan.
much like Black Fathom Deeps,
Okay.
Gnomeregan will
It's
be
a 10-man raid?
10-player raid.
All right, hold on. Let me actually move my camera. All right. Raid size: 10 players, 6 bosses, over 100 new items, and more than 3 times the number of epics that BFD had. New item sets, up-level quests and rewards, and a new profession quest chain. I love to see it.
There will be 6 bosses. There were originally 5 bosses in Gnomeregan if you didn't count the Dark Iron Ambassador. So there's
Okay.
one more new boss that no one's ever fought before.
New.
And of course, redesigns from the ground up on all of the other bosses. So brand new
it.
experience overall.
Love to see
A
it.
ton of new rewards and items. More epics than we had in Black Fathom Deeps with more sources, different bosses.
So there was, how many epics were there in Black Fathom Deeps? There was the 2-hand sword, the staff, and the crossbow. Were those the 3 epics from BFD? I'm pretty sure those were at least those are the ones that I can remember. 3, yeah, if you don't count the bag. The bag doesn't count. It's a warlock bag. It counts technically as an epic, but like I'm talking about like gear, right? So if there's 3 like epics, so at least there's going to be, okay, so there's the epic bag and a warlock bag. Okay, so so that means that if there's more than 3 times, it means there is going to be more. There's going to be 12 or more epics in the new raid. That's huge. Perps are awesome. We love perps.
Just the last
We love perps more than anybody else.
2 bosses dropping those. New item sets for classes to pursue. The quests and rewards have been brought up to level 4.
Also, a new mail set and a new plate set.
40. And there's a brand new profession quest chain that leads into a pretty
Very
deep
good.
opportunity for people to find materials and craft a lot of really cool and powerful items.
I like this.
Josh will get into that more down the line. But some of the play spaces have had some changes.
Okay.
For people who aren't familiar with the Grubbus and Chomper encounter, you might notice
Is there
that
an
there are
auction house
some
in Darn?
radiation
Yes, it's
vents that weren't here.
it's in the
Those
trade
will
district. It's in like
perhaps
the
play
market
a part
district.
in this encounter. Crowd Pummeler is now in a different part of the instance.
That's sick.
I wonder what kind of mechanics, something that punches you really hard, might have to do with being on a platform above a pit of death.
It's gonna
Who
be
knows?
knocking people off, dude. Oh
And
man,
there's a lot of excited onlookers ready for
that's
you
so
to take
cool.
on this.
It's like a
robot.
Fight Club.
And Sicko Thermoplug, last boss of the instance, may have added some additional mechanical suits with different properties to his arsenal, and you'll have to face off against those as well.
All right.
Getting into
okay, hold up. Okay. Don't worry, I'm gonna move this back in just a second. So we have Bonk Maestro's handguards, leather, 84 armor, increased fist weapons and maces +5/+5. Very cool. Domesticated attack chicken. I want this. Chat, all I want in my life is a domesticated attack chicken. I want it. I need it. The Mechanostrider Muffler. It's a one-hand mace with +16 attack power. Huge. Basically Cruel Barb, but on meth. Wordall's Hardening Core. It's a trinket. Stam, Arcane, and Nature Resistance. It is a tanking one. Oh, huge armor increase and dodge. That's sick. Okay. Gearmender's Grace. One-hand mace and increased 20 spirit. Oh, wow. Increases healing done by spells and effect by up to 20. Plus you get int and spirit. Nice. The Necronomicon. It's an offhand. Shadow Priest Rejoice. If you are a Shadow Priest, this is your loot right here, baby. Automatic Crowd Pummeler. Okay. This is the Druid one, dude. Here comes the Druid one, dude. '69 attack power in cat, bear, and dire bear forms only. Nice. Nice. Increases your attack speed by 50% for 30 seconds. Oh my lord. That is disgusting. But like, it's for paladins, shamans, and druids. 22 strength? Dude, this is, okay, sorry, hey, listen, druids, sorry, this is now a paladin weapon. Paladins have claimed this for the light. This is ours now.
Review of the exciting loot.
This is, I'm so excited, dude. What's up, boys?
Items. I think
thanks for tuning in.
One people will notice.
If you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe. We're watching this live.
This is the automatic crowd pummeler. No longer will you have to get individual manual crowd pummelers. You'll be able to pick up one and then use it over and over again with the cooldown.
I love it.
So
I love it,
that's
dude.
a great quality of life improvement. There's also some fun items that you can pick up. The Trog Transfigurator 3000.
Hell
little,
yeah.
Orb of Deception style transforming
Love
into
it.
a Trog. A Ragriar's Whimsical World Warper. Play around with it. See where it takes you in the world.
Fuck around and find out, basically.
And some fun cosmetic items as well.
Glasses.
Here's a look at our set items.
Okay. All right.
You can see that some set
plate?
items actually have specific set bonuses.
All right, pause. Pause. Hazard leg plates. So this is the new plate armor. It improves your chance to get a critical strike with melee and range attacks with spells by 1%. Paladins Rejoice, Divine Storm, Exorcism, Crusader Strike are all going to be smacking bosses now. Increased defense by 7, 16 AP, improves your chance to hit with spells by an additional 1%. This plate set is so good. So good. Improves your chance to hit with spells. And okay, this is the cloth one. This is the additional armor one. Hyperconductive Wizard's Attire. Improves your chance to hit with spells and with melee and range attacks by 1%. Set bonus 2 is 100 armor. Chance on spell cast to increase your damage and healing by up to 40 for 10 seconds. Very good. Mail. This one is Electromantic Chainmail. Strength, Agility, Stam, Int. Beautiful. Beautiful stats. This dude. 13 Stam or 13 Strength, 12 Stam. Huge. Big. Improves your chance to get a critical strike with melee and range attacks and spells by 1%. Restores 4 mana per 5 seconds. Shamans Rejoice. Actually, Shamans and Hunters too. Rejoice. No more mana problems. Blessing of Kings or Blessing of Wisdom is no longer going to be needed. If you have this piece of gear, you will no longer need Blessing of Wisdom. If you're a Shaman, you can't get it anyways, but you know what I mean. This gives it to you. You give this, you get this. The 2-set bonus is plus 24 attack power, huge. And your attacks have a 5% chance of restoring 100 mana. Dude, Shamans are going to be popping off. Actually insane.
For some classes.
Holy moly.
And we also have tokens now that will drop instead of having a gigantic loot list that contains all of the set pieces.
Tokens?
And you're getting frustrated if
they're adding tier tokens to classic WoW, dude?
For a different class every week.
This is actually insane.
Introduced set piece tokens that can be used by everyone. For
this is beautiful.
A specific piece of your armor. So
I love this. I love everything about
loots
this.
The boot token will be able to turn that into a vendor to redeem it for their set piece boots.
Okay.
With Gnomeregan, there's a couple updates that we're making to dungeons.
Here we go.
The first of which are the addition of quality of life skill books. These are skill books that have a chance to drop off of certain creatures in 5-man dungeons, and they add significant quality of life spells to your arsenal that don't take up a rune slot.
Oh my gosh. I need these. Yeah, I need this. I like how they made it. I love the Season of Discovery team is single-handedly carrying Activision Blizzard at this moment. They are hard carrying this company. The fact that they added these things, and instead of it being like some dumb thing, you have to go out into the world and do a dungeon to get it. It's literally the best.
So
I'm so excited
we're excited for people to get their hands on these, and hopefully these solve some problems that players have been facing, such as short aura durations.
Good, yes.
With paladin blessings, totem control.
Longer paladin
shaman,
buffs, please, for the
rogue
love of
being
God.
able to,
I can't do it every 5 minutes. I can't. I need it for an hour, 10 minutes
their combo
at least.
points are on, as well as many, many others that we're
at least
excited
long
for players
enough
to
to
find
where
when they
I
jump
can
into phase 2.
Fight a boss.
And I'd like to pass off the presentation to Nora to talk more about rune abilities. Thank you very
New
much.
runes, baby!
Hey, my name's Nora Valletta, and I'm a lead software engineer on
Nora
WoW Classic.
based.
The team is very excited for you to head out and find those new rune abilities coming soon in Phase 2 of Season of Discovery. I'm here to give you a sneak peek at some of those abilities, so let's dive in. Paladins. Sheath of Light will cause damage dealt with your melee weapon to also increase your spell power. It'll also cause your critical heals to apply an additional heal over time on the target.
I'm sorry. Dealing damage with your melee weapon increases your spell power by an amount equal to 30% of your attack power for 1 minute. In addition, your critical healing spells heal the target for... What?
Guarded by the Light will cause your melee weapon hits to restore mana over time.
Okay, that's good.
However, the amount healed by Flash of Light, Holy Light, and Holy Shock will be reduced by half.
This one's not going to get used at all. Literally. Oh, this is belt and boots. Oh, okay. Maybe this is like maybe this is good for tanks, for like tank paladin. Because tank paladins are like notoriously This one is really strong. Because you get spell power. And so Exorcism's going to hit harder. Consecration's going to hit harder. I don't believe Divine Storm is based off spell power though. I could be wrong about that. But both of these are pretty good. I think these are great for tanks.
Hunters. Melee Specialist is a passive ability which will reduce the cooldown of Raptor Strike,
is a
cause
problem.
it to trigger instantly, and each usage of Raptor Strike has a chance not to trigger its cooldown.
Nice. Melee Hunters
Melee
are cool.
Specialist will also remove the cooldown of Mongoose Bite. Trap Launcher allows you to place traps at any location within 40 yards, and allows you to place your traps while in combat.
Okay.
Additionally, your fire-based and frost-based traps have separate shared cooldowns.
Great quality of life.
Warriors. Rallying Cry is a defensive ability which can be activated to increase the health of all party and raid members within 40 yards.
Or a party thing.
Blood Surge gives some of your abilities a chance to make your next slam instant and cost no rage.
Nice.
Rogues. Use Shuriken Toss to throw a shuriken at your enemy, dealing damage to your target and up to 4 additional nearby targets.
Oh, shit.
Master of...
Some AoE for rogues. Rogues get a little bit of AoE or cleave damage. I love to see it.
Subtlety causes attacks made while stealth and for a short time after exiting stealth to cause additional damage.
Oh my gosh, dude. Assassin, like rogues, backstab, or ambush is going to be... They're going to be so broken. Rogues are already broken.
Cast Mind Spike to blast your target with Shadow Frost damage and apply a D.
I think most Paladin spells are based half on spell power, half on AP. So Divine Storm and Crusader Strike and Exorcism, they're all going to be like slapping. Priests, okay, Mind Spike.
Debuff, which increases the critical strike chance of your next Mind Blast.
And these aren't all of the runes, these are just a couple of them.
Stack up
these
to
are just
3
2 per class.
And fan favorite from future expansions, Pain Suppression can be cast on a friendly target to significantly reduce their damage taken.
That's great
and
for
increase
healers,
their
dude.
resistance to dispel mechanics for a short
Great
time.
for healers, for tanking. Here we go.
Invocation. When you refresh some of your damage over time effects while they have less than 6 seconds remaining, instant damage will be dealt to your target equal to 1 tick of that spell's periodic damage. So you no longer have to worry about refreshing your dots at the exact perfect moment. Dance of the Wicked will trigger a buff which increases you and your pet's dodge chance anytime either of you deal a critical strike to an enemy. You'll also both gain 2% of your maximum mana.
A little bit of mana regen. Gotta love that.
Missile Barrage gives your Arcane Blast, Fireball, and Frostbolt spells a chance to reduce the channeled duration of your next Arcane Missile spell by half, reduce its mana cost to 0, and cause missiles to fire every 0.5 seconds.
Oh my lord.
Chronostatic Preservation is a really cool new spell that allows you to store some of your arcane, fire, and frost energy for later use.
Look at the damage on this.
Only hold this energy for a short time before it combusts and expires, but you can unleash it to heal a friendly target.
Oh, it heals. Okay.
Shamans.
I'm stupid.
Maelstrom Weapon causes damage dealt.
Oh, dude. Shamans, baby? Shamans, baby? We are back.
With melee attacks to have a chance to reduce the
classes
cast time
are on
of
the
your next
rise.
Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, Lesser Healing Wave, Chain Heal, or Lava Burst spell by 20%. The cast time reduction can stack up to 5 times. Spirit of the Alpha is a 30-minute buff that can be cast on a friendly target to increase the threat generated by that target. You can kind of think of it like the opposite of Blessing of Salvation.
Increases all threat generation by the target by 45 seconds. Or by 45% for 30 minutes. Spirit of the Alpha? Spirit of the Alpha, dude? Literally like Giga Chad. Literal Giga Chad spell.
Some shamans choose to battle with 1 weapon in each hand. Others prefer to dish out devastating blows with a 2-handed weapon.
Yes.
If that sounds like you, then we have 2-handed mastery. Each time you strike an enemy with a two-handed weapon, you gain 30% attack speed with two-handed weapons for 10 seconds. Anyways, it's time for...
Is two-hand Shaman Tank going to be a thing?
Me to pass things
Wind
over
Fury
to Ana
Shaman
Resendez,
Tank?
who will
Can't
be
wait.
sharing with you some updates on our new PvP event.
Can't wait.
Take it away, Anna.
Can't wait for everyone to discover those new runes. They look amazing. Thank you, Nora. Hello, I am Ana Resendez, and I will talk to you
Sorry,
about
I have to.
PvP. In this new level,
I have to do the
experience
closed captions, chat. It helps my ADHD.
You might have seen a little hint on our social media channels about this.
Okay.
So, our new PvP event is called the Blood Moon.
Pog.
The Blood Moon rises in Stranglethorn Vale, bringing with it absolute mayhem. When Ashenvale was created, we talked about how cool it would be for the event to be triggered by player activity in the area.
Oh my lord.
After going through feedback and seeing how Ashenvale played,
free for all PvP.
We wanted to take a different approach. And
Alliance versus Alliance,
so
Horde versus Horde, no one is safe.
So, the Blood Moon event will happen every 3 hours, and we have a duration of 30 minutes. Believe me, you will be able to tell when the event is happening. The Blood Moon will shine its effect during this time and bring in a mysterious red fog to the area.
Oh my god, that's
during
so sick,
time,
dude.
The whole zone will become a free-for-all PvP, meaning allies and enemies alike will be viable targets for your Blood Rage.
That's
Everyone
so
that
sick.
is in the zone during this time will become a target. During the event,
no one is
killing
safe.
Other players will allow you to earn a currency, which can be traded for various rewards. We'll talk about the rewards in a little bit. You can still group up, but be warned, the Blood Moon does not smile to those that battle in raid groups and will punish you for doing so. There are those, of course, who refuse to give in the thirst of the blood. If it's peace what you seek, you can opt out of the event at any time by talking to the Sandalari emissary.
Nah, you never do that.
You will not be able to earn any rewards if you opt out.
Good.
And remember that General Realm PvP zone rules will still apply.
Yep.
Another big difference from Ashenvale is that there won't be any PvE objectives.
Okay, good.
That said,
yeah, there shouldn't
not
be.
Not only should you be wary of both enemies and allies alike, you should also keep an eye out for the Chosen of the Blood Loa, who will absolutely destroy you. Does Fell River ring a bell?
I'll kill him.
So,
I'll kill him.
You might be wondering, how do I get my hands on that sweet rewards?
Yeah.
There will be a merchant outside of Gurabashi Arena that would assist you.
Class-specific item rewards. New quest for the Arathi Basin rep. Okay. Ember Blood Seal. Equipped Blood Moon. Finger. 9 stamp 6 and increases fire damage by 16. Gotta love that. Ooh, a little one-hand weapon, eh?
What about the rewards?
I like it. I like it.
There are dozens of new class-specific item rewards. Here are some examples
10
of
strength
the new
6
rewards
agi for
that
warriors.
come
That's
with
pretty
the
big,
event.
dude.
Additionally, there are new quests that will help with your Arathi Basin reputation journey. Do you want to see more about the cool rewards?
Yes.
What about a new car? Well, okay, not exactly a car.
Mounts.
But yes. You're
Ooh, a
seeing
cool tiger mount, dude.
There will be 2 new faction-agnostic mounts that you will be able to acquire related to this event.
Faction?
This
Dude,
level
Horde can get tiger, Alliance can get raptors? Season of Discovery is the best thing ever.
40 mounts have an appearance that
Literally
is
the best thing ever.
completely new to the game. I hope to see you in the battlefield. And up next, Josh will join us.
And they're level
and
40
he will
mounts. You
talk
can
to
use them
you
anywhere.
about
It's
profession
beautiful.
Updates.
All right, professions.
Hello,
here we go.
My name is Josh Greenfield, senior game producer on WoW Classic. Let's dive right in and talk about what we're going to be doing with professions in Phase
Yes.
2. I want to start by saying that we've been really thrilled with the reception to our professions editions in Phase 1. It was really exciting watching people sort of discover and unlock how to create your awesome, void touch leather gloves and your extra
I have the
planers,
shifting
spider silk
the
boots,
shifting
and all those things.
shimmering breastplate.
And we're going to go ahead and expand on this quite a bit for Phase 2.
I like
There will
this
be around
thing.
20 new recipes across all non-gathering professions. This also includes not just leatherworking, tailoring, and blacksmithing, but also alchemy, enchanting, and
Okay.
as well. So
his
wanna
voice
spread
is
the
really
love around
low.
here. We want to make sure everyone gets something really cool this time. So that's what we're going to do. Just like in phase 1, there will be an epic quest chain to unlock this.
Okay,
and we won't
sick.
spoil anything about that today. You're gonna have to get in the game. You're gonna have to kind of go through that
Good.
yourself. But
let us play. Let the boys play.
Like this too. Next, I kind of want to talk a little bit about just some of the
Pause. Here we go. 225 is the cap for it. Rad resistant scale hood. This is the male one for leatherworking. Yep. Improves your chance to hit with spells and melee range attacks by 1%. Engage the radiation mitigation protocols in this helmet, causing you to immediately remove all active poison effects and gain immunity to all nature damage for 3 seconds. It's kind of a meh, like on use thing. It's kind of cool if you're like really getting messed up by a druid and a rogue and you're getting poisoned a bunch. I guess it's pretty good. It's useful. You'll probably use it, but it's all right. Neurolinked Arcano Filament Monocle. I love the names. I love the names of the abilities, or of the items, I should say. This is the cloth helmet. Increases damage and healing done by magical spells and effects by up to 22. And 4 mana per 5 seconds. Love that. Anything that gives you more mana is good. Like anything that continually refreshes your mana pool is a good thing. Harness the latent arcane energy in the nearby air to give you a charged inspiration, reducing the mana cost of all spells by 50% and increasing damage and healing done by up to 50 for 12 seconds. This here is insane. No, this here is going to cause people to not go into blacksmithing because they're going to want this instead, or they're going to have engineering, excuse me. They're going to want to have engineering and tailoring because of this. Like, this is actually insane. Plans. The reflective true silver brain cage. This is the plate 1, 14 stam, 15 intellect. So this is very much for paladins. This is a paladin helmet. Increases damage and healing done by magical spells and effects by up to 21. Gain reinforced willpower, preventing silence, interrupt effects, and spell pushback for 10 seconds. As a paladin healer, this is really good. Because nothing is worse, or even as a paladin tank, if you're having to like cast like a heal on yourself, you're getting attacked by so many things because paladin tanks typically like to pull big AoE ability, because they'll just AoE and consecrate everything down. This is great because then you don't have to worry about that, being dead and not being able to cast a flash of light or whatever.
I'm not going to go into super great detail about what each of these are and all the stats and everything like that. As you can see, they're very powerful. But one thing I do want to kind of call out is that you'll notice that a few of the materials required are brand new materials to the game, and a lot of them are used across different professions. Some of these similar new
it's going to be good for the market.
There's definitely going to be a trading and kind of economy aspect to these new professions recipes.
I can't wait for these items to cost 400 gold.
I'm most excited to see how players share resources and information to make.
No one's going to be sharing.
That's
it's
all we're
just going to be people price gouging.
It's going to be a pretty fun thing to participate in the next phase. Few other things we kind of want to talk about is alchemy and enchanting in particular. When we were looking at what we wanted to do,
sick.
We could obviously add more consumables and we can add more enchants for enchanters, and to a degree
this is cool.
There are new enchanting material recipes other than what you see here, but one of the things about these professions is that in a lot of cases they don't do a whole lot for your personal throughput if you're one of these professions.
Yeah.
A lot of times you can make things, and a lot of times you can make a lot of gold off of having these professions. But in terms of your actual like damage output or healing output, they don't really bring anything that you can't have someone else craft for you and bring. So that's what we wanted to try here. In particular, if you'll notice on the left side, there's this new Enchanted Sigil innovation.
Yep.
And what this basically is that this is kind of like a world buff that you can carry around in your bag and give to yourself. And essentially, it has a 30-minute duration, but also a 30-minute cooldown. So if you die you will lose this for at least some period of time before you can put it back on. Same thing with Alchemist here. They have the ability to make this essentially damage and healing consumable, or attack power consumable, and that also
Alchemists are based.
So that's just something.
Mana
that's
and health and AP and damage.
And we hope that
sick.
you like these things. We're looking for feedback on this sort of stuff.
All right, what's next?
So now that we've kind of gone through an overview, phase 2 and some of the things that are coming in it, we do want to kind of, I guess, hit a few of like the frequently asked questions that we've gotten recently.
Good.
About things in phase 1 and some of the issues that have popped up and how we're addressing those, as well as just some curiosities about what else is coming in phase 2 and how specific things will work. So we're going to dive into a few of these kind of FAQ items and try and burn through as many of them as possible to give you a better idea of kind of what's going on and what our thought process on some of this stuff is. So let's just go ahead and hop right in. We will start today talking about raid schedule. We thought we'd start here because this is a
Are they going to push it back a week?
Community right now. We've seen a lot of great feedback on this and have weighed a great many perspectives about, kind of when we should release the raid. Should we have it available from day one, or should we wait maybe a week or some other amount of time to unlock it?
I think a week is too long.
While it's impossible, we feel, to do something that will make every single person happy, we do think we can strike a bit of a compromise here. We understand that, the server or world first race is not just about who can zone in first. If the raid unlocks at an arbitrary global time. And for a large group of players, it's also about who can get in the fastest after leveling. And it's very exciting for them to see what they can do when they're under geared or maybe without their full toolkit of runes and other like pre-raid items. And so, that is one argument we've heard in favor of not delaying it. And we think it's a very compelling one. It is very exciting to participate in that.
But they're going to delay it anyways.
On the other hand, though, if you're one of those players, the many players who really like to take their time leveling, we realize that 3-day lockout puts you in a position where you may miss several lockouts before you hit 40. And while it's pretty unlikely to actually matter all that much in the long run,
who cares?
We'll have plenty of lockouts this phase.
If you're a casual player, and let's say you play an hour, 2 hours a day, who cares if you miss a couple raid lockouts? Honestly, who cares? You're going to have plenty of time to access the content. You missing 4 lockouts because you take a week to level and then you take half a week to gear up. It's not going to matter in the grand scheme of things. At least in my opinion.
It does still feel kind of bad. And one of the things we wanted to avoid with this season was too much feeling of FOMO. So by way of a compromise, what we're looking at doing this time is we will not delay the opening of the raid.
Good.
But we will be putting the first 2 lockouts on kind of a normal weekly lockout timer. So that would reset on like Tuesday in North America, Wednesday in Europe, and so on and so forth, and whatever your regional
that's fine
or reset time is.
I think that this is actually the best compromise they can do. So instead of them delaying it a week, and then everyone who's going to be turbo autism gaming is going to be blasting through content, and they're going to be gearing up, and it's going to trivialize the raid because they're going to be leveled up by like day 2. People are going to be hitting 40 in like 20 hours, 18 hours, or they're like from 25 to 40. It's like 18 to 20 hours if you're like gaming hard. So it's not going to take much time. They're going to get to there by day 1, and then because they're going to be gaming all day. They're not going to stop gaming. We're not going to stop. We're never going to stop. And so at least this, like, if you are that turbo nerd gamer and you want to blast and play 18 hours a day to get to 40, you can do the raid 1 time that week. Cool. And then you can do the raid the next week 1 time. Because if it's what? It's it comes out on the 8th. Where's it at? Where's my calendar? It's on the 8th. So you get 1 lockout. The 13th is the next lockout. So you get 2 lockouts. Essentially, you get a lockout and a half. You get a week and a half of raiding, 2 raids, 2 raid lockouts. Then on the 20th, every 3 days from there. Perfect. So the average normie who isn't going to get to 40 on the first day, or the second day, or the third day, is only going to potentially miss 2 lockouts.
February 13th.
I'm okay with it.
In North America, in the morning with maintenance, and then the second will occur the following Tuesday on February 20th, again in North America in the morning with maintenance. So each region you can offset for your regional maintenance time. What this allows us to do is, if enable folks who really want to push day one to get in as fast as possible and get that first, like,
and
world first or server first clear, or
and they will
bragging rights of saying you did it first. That's something that we don't want to take away from you. But this also reduces the number of lockouts that are possible in that time period, so that players who are leveling a little bit more casually or at a little slower pace may not feel like they missed out on.
Also, if you're leveling casually,
it's not a perfect solution, and that's one thing we really want to stress. Is that when you deal with,
you're gonna be missing out on random stuff like that anyways.
Scale,
like,
there's no objectively correct answer.
This is like saying that the people who are world first mythic raiders should be slowed because people who are not cutting edge world first raiders can't get into the raid as fast as they can. You don't, like, I understand like why they're doing it this way, because it's Season of Discovery. They want to try new things and they want to like experiment and see what works. But this type of thing would never work in retail WoW, ever. Retail does delay the raids though, but they open up on the same, well, not last race. Last race, they had normal, heroic, and mythic open on day one of the raid. And typically, whenever the patch comes out, there's 1 week of no raid, and then the next week, the raid's open. It's for, like, people do, like, the story quests or whatever. But, like, people don't care about that because they've already been blasting plus 25 keys. Mythic is day one. So, but imagine them if they were like, okay, well, hey, in the past, they've done this where Mythic has came out week 2, which is fine. I didn't have a problem with that. But you can still do normal and heroic. But imagine if they were like, hey, normal is week 1, heroic is week 2, mythic is week 3. People would be like, why? I don't know. I think you should just let the people play. Let the people play.
Every decision we make, there's going to be people who like it, and there's going to be people who would prefer something else. But we feel that this acknowledges.
Yeah, the season starts week 1 after the patch,
without really depriving either.
So you're not
of something
like
special.
You can really only do mythic zeros the first week. The first week is literally just like you doing mythic plus from season 2 to try to get your vault for season 3 or whatever season it is.
So
there's really not like
really
a whole lot of benefit. They should honestly just have the season start day 1 of the patch.
And we're going to,
in my opinion, I think they just let it open up, open it up, open up the pit
in the future phases, and if not, we may just go back to the drawing board and try something else. But we really
I think this is a pretty decent compromise, though.
Of feedback we've gotten from the community on this. We've been watching social media, we've been watching forums,
but also
been watching a lot of
if you are a very casual player and you don't plan on being in the raid on week 1, what does it matter? It literally does not matter.
Commentary on this, and we couldn't have nothing we do without looking at and listening to what you guys are saying. So thank you so much for that. Next thing we want to talk about a little bit is PvP matchmaking.
All right.
We realize that it can be frustrating to get matched against a full pre-made.
Yeah, that sucks.
Solo. However, we do still have significant concerns about completely bifurcating PvP queues into a separate PvP or small group queue. What this means, essentially, is if you're in a group of 5 or less, you'll have a dramatically higher chance to also get matched against groups of 5 or less. And if you're in a group of 6 or more, same deal, you'll have a higher chance to get matched against larger groups or full groups.
Okay.
If the queues are long or the matchmaker can't find a good group that fits within these parameters after a certain amount of time, it'll abandon these rules and go ahead and match you with the first available, so you can at least play a game. But by and large, we feel that this will help the situation a lot for those who just kind of want to queue up solo or just with a few friends.
I think that's
and not
cool.
Feel like they're always going against pre-made.
Yeah.
We do want to stress again, though, that we firmly believe that activities like PvP Battlegrounds are just more fun and less stressful when players group up and coordinate.
Yeah.
We can understand that if you just want a PvP and you don't want to join a group for it,
PvPing with friends is way more fun than PvPing by yourself.
But ultimately, coordination within your team, whether it's a pre-made or not, is going to be the key to success in any activity like organized PvP when you're playing against other players. Even when queuing solo, we encourage you to be as positive team members and coordinate with your groups to have the best time possible. So next, another common question is that what the leveling buff will look like. We mentioned this at BlizzCon, that whenever the level cap increases, we will put in a level an XP buff for the previous level band. And so what you can expect, for that. Also, we've gotten a lot of questions about what you can expect if you say you've done all the quests available to you at level 25.
Yeah, you're
and what do you do
gold
for leveling it, from like 25 to 30 if you've done all those quests. So for the first question, we'll be providing a flat 50% XP buff from the 1 through 25 range.
Nice.
So that if you do start a new character or a new alt, or if you have a friend that's joining in phase 2, you should be able to get caught up to level 25.
Okay, so people can basically just spam BFD well, you can't really spam it because it's on a lockout, so you can do it every 3 days and get more XP that way. And then Waylaid Surprise and then this will also keep the buff going. Waylaid Surprise will give more XP. I like that. Good. Yeah.
The other thing that we're doing in order to help the second situation where you may feel like you've done all the quests you can and you're not sure how best to level, we are going to make the Blackfathom Deeps raid give a very significant amount of experience when cleared in phase 2 when you're
that's why they're calling it a level up raid.
It's keeping the lockout it has now, a 3-day lockout, to encourage players not to just do it every single day and engage in other activities, but it will be very lucrative and worth doing.
So it's going to be important. Like I like how they're keeping it
probably be sometime in the
relevant
late 30s. Lastly, Waylaid Supplies are also seeing some adjustments. We're not quite ready to talk about the full suite of adjustments coming here because some of them are still undergoing tuning.
Yep.
But we are going to significantly increase the XP rewards for it, particularly in the ones from the 25 to 40 range. There will be new Waylaid Supplies turn-ins, and we want to make sure that they're very rewarding and they're something that you want to do. And we're also looking at removing some of the frustrations from this. Again, not quite ready to talk.
It wasn't really frustrating. It's actually pretty easy to get.
If you've
once they nerfed the rep requirement for it, it was actually not hard to get to that point. It wasn't hard at all.
Had concerns with some of the frustrating aspects of them, then we're hoping to address some of those in the next phase as well. So stay tuned for a little bit more a little bit more information about that, and we'll have more as we get really close to patch or the phase launch.
Yep.
A few minor adjustments to Ashenvale are coming. There will be fewer people in Ashenvale specifically when the level cap increases. So we're going to go ahead and move the event to a rigid 3-hour timer. Similar to what Anna talked about with the Stranglethorn Vale
event.
I
don't care.
This will basically be every 3 hours.
I don't care about the Ashenvale PvP event at all.
It will happen without player intervention. Do note, though, we don't want to make you choose between doing an Ashenvale battle and a Stranglethorn Vale battle. So the Ashenvale timer will be offset by 1 hour from Stranglethorn. Okay. So if Stranglethorn starts at noon, this will start at 1 p.m. and they should never overlap. Yeah, so we're pretty excited about that.
World buffs.
We hope that the Ashenvale battles continue. One
other
thing that is kind of a common question and topic is kind of what are we going to do with the world buffs in the next phase?
What's the plan?
Simply put, we're going to go ahead and cap them. The Ashenvale Weekly Fest world buff is going to be capped at level 39, and the Blackfathom Deeps world buff is also going to be capped at 39. So you can enjoy those while you're leveling, but once you hit 40, you'll no longer basically be able to gain the benefit of those.
Okay.
Please also note that the Stranglethorn Vale PvP event will not actually have a world buff this time, but no more not well.
I like the world buff. I like the world buff from the raid. I think it's really cool.
But we don't want to add too much overhead to the evolving endgame. And
I wonder if the meta is going to be. Okay, listen. Hear me out. Level 39, you go in. Well, let's say level 38. You go in. You clear BFD. You chrono boon. Level 39. Right before you ding, you unchrono boon. You get your world buff. You hit 40, you go into the new raid. I wonder if they were going to be basically giving you, because you can't gain it after level 39, but that doesn't mean that you can't not have it when you hit 40. Or when you hit 39, does it just go completely away? I guarantee there's going to be somebody who is going to hit level 39, get the buff, chrono boon, and then they are going to wait till the very last moment, till they turn in their final quest, boon, and then hit 40. And it'd be really cool to see if they kept that world buff.
You don't want it to be a slog to have to go all over the world to get all of these world buffs, and especially once we hit 60, we don't want you to have to slog through going all over the world and getting every world buff. So That's where we landed on that. We're obviously open to feedback on any of this, so please let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Profession specializations. This is another really hot topic in the community. Just like with phase 1, when we capped professions at 150, with phase 2 we will be capping them at 225.
Yeah.
And additionally, we've decided that profession specializations will also not be available until phase 3.
Cool.
So that's when the level cap goes to 50. We feel that profession specializations outside of engineering and a few other exceptions are kind of lackluster at original WoW, and we really want to do something fun and cool here.
I love blacksmithing. Blacksmithing is thematically one of my favorite professions in WoW. It just sucks. Like it's just not a good profession. So maybe the next phase will fix it, and it'll be actually really cool, and I can become a master swordsmith.
So for phase 3,
because like that to me is really cool.
Specializations are going to have a large focus, and obviously we're not going to talk about it now, but do stay tuned for more information on profession specializations as we move closer to phase 3. Thank you. Another common question that we get that is somewhat frustrating to answer, simply because kind of the more we talk about it, the faster bad actors can work around our efforts, but it's botting and exploitative accounts in general. Botting is sort of a colloquial term. It includes a lot of things, including just exploitative gameplay that players engage in. And it has a negative impact on the game. It really does. It's something we don't like. It's something we actually hate.
Inflation is
insane. We spend a lot of time and a lot of effort trying to combat. And while we can't really talk about the specifics of what we're doing, we do want to talk about some really exciting new tech that's coming with phase 2. We've had this in limited testing on live.
Nice.
Classic of its various flavors and modern for quite some time, and we've seen some very positive results from it. And so we want to
report all the bots, dude.
There's never going to be a time
get rid of them.
World of Warcraft or really any online game is
blow up their computers,
free of bad actors and malicious accounts. But we're very positive about the results we've seen from this new tech, and we're really excited to see it rolled out. Paradoxically, as well, kind of the more effective we are at some of these things, the more outwardly visible the bad actors can become. A lot of times following many of our ban waves, you may actually see increased bot activity as bot farms essentially spin up new accounts and start over. But there's been a few instances of this happening. We do a large ban wave, and then everyone, I see videos posted online of streams of bots going from one part of the world to the other. But when you see that stuff, or when you report it, it actually helps us clamp down on that new method as well. And it gets the bot farms into a position where they are constantly kind of 2 steps forward and like 2 steps backwards. So that is really helpful. And as much as it's frustrating to see, we really want to encourage you to continue to help us by reporting things.
Hell
and we're
yeah,
going to continue to do exhaustive work on our side for this issue. Always a frustrating thing, never easy to talk about, but we really appreciate your patience with us.
Okay, good. Nice.
So the last topic that we really want to talk about, and this is kind of a big one, is just jumping right into it, starting with phase 2 of Season of Discovery. We're going to be
no more GDKPs.
GDKP
gone.
Will no longer be permitted in Season of Discovery realms.
Good.
And to kind of recap, for anyone who does not know what GDKP
get rid of them.
Or gold bid raids or dungeons are, it's essentially a raid or a dungeon run where the loot rules is that all loot that is distributed is essentially purchased with gold.
Auction.
So an item will drop. It's then put up for bid by the loot master or whoever's doing the loot, and interested parties then bid gold for the item.
Auctioned off.
The highest bid wins.
Get rid of them.
When the gold is received, it's split within the participants of the raid. This is something we've been discussing for a very long time on WoW Classic, and it's not a decision we've arrived at lightly. It's fair to say that GDKP has some benefits to individuals who don't want to be tied to a traditional guild or set raid schedule, and GDKPs are, while largely transactional, another social activity in the game, and we're always hesitant to...
Here's the thing, though. Literally log into WoW, and there are 40 BFD raids happening literally at all times. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is. BFD raids are happening daily. Every single day they are doing them. GDKP or not. A lot of them are GDKP, but I would say I see probably 50% split of GDKP and normal raid runs. There's 20 groups happening pretty much constantly. in the world. GDKPs being gone are a great thing. Fantastic. Get rid of them. I don't want to see them. I hate the idea of spending gold, because let's be real, GDKPs, what do they promote? They essentially promote you or incentivize you to either A, buy gold, or B, bought. You bought to get gold, and you get gold to either sell gold or to buy gear. So GDKPs are basically incentivizations. They incentivize you to spend real money on a virtual currency.
To discourage anything that gets people in groups and playing together. However, we do remain concerned that GDKP erodes traditional guild and social structures that are in many cases the basis.
Just join a pug. Literally just join a pug, dude.
Warcraft. And it's undeniable that GDKP contributes to and drives a lot of malicious accounts, illicit activity, RMT, botting, all of the things we just talked about. Season of Discovery is highly experimental in its nature, and we take
get rid of it,
and
dude.
This is another chance.
I hope that GDKPs never see another. I hope that GDKPs never see the light of day in the rest of Season of Discovery. I don't want to see them at all.
We want to give an honest try to a version of World of Warcraft without GDKP present, and this is our best opportunity for that. So as of
should have been doing it from phase 1, from day one.
GDKP will no longer be permitted in Season of Discovery. We're going to release additional communications with another FAQ to kind of go with this FAQ.
People are still going to do them though. They're just going to be like underground GDKPs.
We'd really like to hear what you think, and we're going to really monitor feedback closely on this. This is a test, and ultimately this decision came as a result of your feedback.
Good.
And so
we don't want them. I don't want them. At least I don't.
What you think of this? We want to hear how it goes as we move through this next phase. And if it doesn't work out, we'll revisit this policy for future phases. We really appreciate everyone who has expressed that feedback and concerns on this topic. Thank you. So with that, I think we're done with today's presentation. Thank you so much.
Dude, this was actually so good. I love the communication. I love the communication. I love seeing the new raid stuff. I love seeing some runes, kind of like, ooh, look at this rune. Woohoo. I love the quality of life items that you can get for like blessings and hunters things and rogue things and whatever they all say had. All I cared about the paladin. All I really cared about was just the paladin one, by the way. But anyways, this is awesome. I cannot wait for phase 2. We literally have like a week and a half to it, and I cannot wait to get in and get to 40 and do the raid and level up and experience it and do new zones, new quests, everything. I'm so happy about this. I can't wait to see what more stuff we get, dude. I cannot wait to see what more stuff we get. I want this tiger mount so bad. I want both. I want them all. I want it all. Phase 2 goes live February 8th at 1 p.m. PST or 3 p.m. Central Time. I may have to order a mouse, chat, because I'm going to be playing on my laptop. I'm going to be bringing my laptop to my dad's house because my sister's getting married that weekend. She's actually literally getting married on February 8th. So I'm actually kind of mad at my sister for getting married. So I should text her and say, hey, can you move your wedding date so I can play WoW? I should do that. I'll text her. Chat, if you think I should text my sister to move her wedding date so I can play WoW, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I appreciate you. Follow me on Twitch, and we'll see you next time. Peace.